Good morning, Rebels, and welcome back to my life. Can we just take a second to talk about House of Cards? Because Season 3 came out on Netflix a few days ago, and since then I've watched the whole thing, and wow! For those who know nothing about the series, it's about a US congressman named Francis Underwood who has aspirations for the presidency. And in his quest to achieve that goal, he resorts to every dirty trick in the book of American politics. And as you can imagine, there are a lot of pages in that book. One of my favorite things about House of Cards is its sense of realism. So many shows go for this gritty realism feel, and while they get the gritty part right, I don't think they're realistic at all. Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead, all of them super gritty, all of them very good shows, but none of them, like, even slightly realistic. But with House of Cards, I feel like every event in the show could actually happen. All of them. The drama of it might be heightened slightly, but all of the occurrences and the character decisions feel very well grounded in reality. Compare that to a show like Scandal, another political drama. A lot of my friends really like Scandal. I don't. It's not for me. For one thing, I don't think the acting is particularly good, but more importantly, the plot lines are just ridiculous. If there is a shark to jump, Scandal jumps it. Whereas in House of Cards, everything that happens in the show feels like it could, and maybe has, happened in real life. The backroom dealings between politicians certainly smack of reality, and the constant crises that assault the president and Congress are like our daily truth. We, the public, see them happen all the time. We just see them from the other side of the television screen. And no spoilers, but even when major characters in the show kill people or are killed, do we honestly believe that no US politician has ever quietly disposed of a threat to their political career? Season 3 contains perhaps less of these moments of super heightened political intrigue, but I actually think that makes this season of the show stronger, not weaker. I feel like each season is more grounded than the last, and House of Cards doesn't feel the need, like so many other realistic, gritty shows do, to get darker and darker every single season. Just to do a fake scenario, again, no spoilers, it doesn't go, well, last season we killed his best friend, so this season we gotta kill his wife. Season 3 actually has less dark moments than the first two seasons, but the interpersonal drama, the character development, and the political problems all ramp way, way, way up. So while things don't get darker, actually a lot of this season seems kind of cool, you're way more invested in the problems that the characters do have. This season of the show was also when I first really started to appreciate the show title, and that might sound weird, but it's something I always like to consider in art. Great works of art often have great titles that give us more insight into the work of art itself, whether it's a book or a film or a television show. Now, it's open to interpretation, of course, but it's easy to see Frank Underwood constructing his own political career and imagine that House of Cards refers to the structure that he's building. Everything is a desperate balancing act, a pretty but ultimately unstable foundation that could come tumbling down in the slightest gust of wind. That it's meant to point out what an impressive man he must be, for all of his failings, to build such a solid structure using such weak and flimsy building materials, i.e. his fellow members of the American government. Could the cards in the title be referring to a high-stakes game of poker where luck plays a huge role in every game, but you can always win as long as you're skilled enough, as long as you can keep that bluff going and your poker face remains solid? And referring specifically to Season 3, what is the relationship between the king and the queen, and how does that affect the rest of the cards in the deck? As you can probably tell, I'm a really big fan of the show. If you haven't seen Season 3 yet, or if you've never watched any of House of Cards at all, you've got to. It's amazing, you're missing out. Those are my thoughts for the day, Rebel. If you want to let me know your thoughts, put them in the comments below, but please tag your spoilers. The van. Am I right? Yeah? Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Maybe. Bye!